Joining us now to discuss the war, David Salvo with the Alliance for Securing Democracy. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Let's start with the battle for Soledar. Russia says it's liberated the city, but Ukraine denies that. So just briefly talk about the significance of this city and in terms of the overall conflict.
Yeah, great to be with you. Thanks for having me. In terms of the overall conflict, Soledar isn't necessarily a strategically important city. It's important for two reasons. One, on the PR side for the Russians, it's been so long since they could claim any sort of military gain that for domestic consumption, it's important for the Kremlin to be able to message to the Russian people, hey, look, the military's been able to do something here on the ground. But what Soledar does do is it sets up the Russians potentially to make advances on Bakhmut, which is a city that is much more strategically important for holding the Donetsk region. So in that context, this is sort of an incremental gain that could set the stage for a larger conflict of a bigger city.
So it could pick up ground elsewhere with this victory there if they should get it. Meanwhile, the fighting in Soledar has highlighted a rift between the Russian Defense Ministry and the private military force that's known as the Wagner Group, which claims to have taken this city. What's going on with this, and is it a sign of deterioration from the inside?
Yeah, it's really an ongoing soap opera in Moscow. So the Wagner Group is a mercenary private contracting military force run by a Putin loyalist named Yevgeny Prigozhin. And they are honestly a better trained fighting force than the Russian military, which has been, sort of raked over the coals publicly, including by Prigozhin himself, for their incompetence in waging this war in Ukraine. So yes, there is definitely a very public rift between the Russian Ministry of Defense, which, has performed pretty abysmally in this conflict, and this private mercenary group, the Wagner Group, that has, in this case, helped to take the town of Soledar. So I expect that drama between the Russian MOD and this mercenary force to continue.
And lastly, David, this week, another big shakeup at the top of the Russian military. That's a shot right there of the new man tapped by Vladimir Putin to lead this invasion. This is the second military command change in the past 3 months. So what does this tell you about Putin's view of the war at the moment?
Well, I think there are people in President Putin's ear who are arguing for a much more, it's already been a very aggressive and sort of indiscriminate sort of fighting by the Russian military. But I think there are those who are arguing for an even wider scale, more aggressive posture by the Russian command. And I think this change at the top reflects that. I think we should expect that the Russian military, especially through this winter, is going to continue to just pummel infrastructure, civilian targets, as they've done over the last several months, in an attempt to try to set the stage for more territorial gains. Look, it's embarrassing. The Russian military has not been able to hold on to territory in these so-called liberated annexed regions that Russia now claims as its own. That's an embarrassment. And it's a real credit to the Ukrainian forces who continue to hold on to this territory and regain territory that it lost. So, this change at the top of the Russian military brass, it's not surprising, but I think it's really just representative of how poorly they've performed over the last several months.
Yeah, we forget that this was supposed to be a David versus Goliath matchup, but it's not really turning out that way, or so it seems on the battlefield sometimes.
Not at all.
David Salvo with the Alliance for Securing Democracy. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks a lot.